What's the worst punishment you've gotten from your parents? When I was 14, I pulled off what I thought was the perfect lie. Told my parents I was sleeping over at a friend's house to study for a math test. Reality. My friends were throwing a party. Zero adults, questionable music, cheap snacks, and worse decisions. It was chaos. The kind of chaos that makes you feel alive and slightly afraid you'll end up in jail for stepping on someone's mom's garden gnome. I lost track of time, and by the time I got home, it was almost 3 a.m. I crept in like a ninja, shoes off, phone on silent, rehearsing my fake story in my head. Then I saw the living room light, and my dad, just sitting there like some kind of final boss. I froze, full-on deer in headlights moment. But instead of yelling, he calmly said, "Sit." No shouting, no drama, just disappointment. Which honestly felt worse than getting grounded by Satan himself. He told me he understood, that he'd been my age once, that choices have consequences. Then he hit me with the punishment. No phone, no friends, no video games. For a month. I thought, okay, I'll survive. But then, a few days into my sentence, I was bored out of my skull. So I cleaned my room out of desperation. That's when I found this old box of my dad's stuff. Inside were letters from his parents. Turns out he'd snuck out too. Got caught. Same situation. And here's the twist. One of the letters mentioned how his punishment was spending a whole summer rebuilding his grandpa's chicken coop, by hand, with no power tools. I went back to him like, "So, I got off easy, huh?" He just smiled and said, "I considered the chicken coop, but I figured you'd just start a TikTok about it." That hit me harder than the punishment. So yeah, I lost my phone, sure. But what really got me was realizing my dad had already played, and won, the same game I thought I was smart enough to cheat. He wasn't mad. He was just waiting for me to figure out I'm not nearly as clever as I thought I was.